I just wanted to share this and put it out to the world to kind of see how everyone else feels about this. Become a nurse and help and try and lift people up and make our system a better place. And maybe it's me being a cranky pants. I'm just really curious, and it's things I'm thinking about. It's just things that I'm wondering about, and I'm wondering if anyone else is feeling the same way, thinking the same way. I really do need to nan myself. I'm gonna nurse and nurture myself. I'm going home to a lovely man who is probably gonna make me some food because I'm a spoiled girl. Maybe that's just me being a cranky pants. Hit that like button, give me a subscribe, or I said that backwards. Hey, it's Stacy here with Nurse and Nurture. Just getting out of class and waiting for Stanley to warm up. It's actually a lot warmer out today than it has been the last couple days. We've received a little bit of a winter kick in the pants the last couple days. So it's nice to have the sun shining, and Stanley, that's the Jeep, is only reading at -6 right now. So I'm just coming out of class and I had a thought, and I just wanted to share this and put it out to the world of nursing students, of people, professionals, anyone in general, to kind of see how everyone else feels about this. I'm gonna try not to rant too much, but it's something that I'm noticing is going on in nursing school, and I might need to actually vent a little bit, and that's okay. There's so many great things about the program I'm in and all the experiences I'm learning. I am trying to roll with every single punch and take it all as a learning experience. So please don't get me wrong that I'm a little frustrated right now. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to Nurse and Nurture. I talk about a little bit of everything, and today is just a little bit of a dump for myself. And make sure you stay tuned till the end, because I'm gonna ask a question and I really wanna know what people are thinking. I just came out of class and we spent the first half, which is probably like 45 minutes of the class, going over material that we already spoke about before our winter break. My one request to several teachers that reach out to me and ask, what can we do to make your learning environment, your school life most successful? It is, please be respectful and efficient with our time. Don't tell us things that are unnecessary. Don't say one thing and mean another. Don't mislead us. Just be the professionals you are trying to empower us to be. So I'm particularly frustrated today because the teacher lectured, for 45 minutes about something she already lectured on with us. And I know respiratory distress is very important, but we have mountains of content to get through, and it just feels like we're not making any traction. So that's one thing. Then my clinical instructor tells us we're done at 4:30. I make plans to be done at that time. Say what you mean and mean what you say. The lack of follow through I find very frustrating. I need instructors who are going to advocate for their students. So we were supposed to finish at 4:30. This lady, lovely lady at the center we were visiting at, she was talking and just telling like a lot of really random stories. And she would have been lovely to listen to for days, but it also kind of turned into more of a therapy session for her. And she had, 8 of our attention. And I say that negatively, but I'm not trying to discredit her. It was just a frustrating experience because we're supposed to be done our day by 4:30, and it's 5 o'clock when we're walking out of there. And we're all nursing students in a lower position of authority, so we're not just going to walk out of this situation. I believe it's up to our instructor to advocate for us and to, be like, hey, we'll call her Brenda. I'm really sorry to cut you off, but like our students are done at 4:30. Technically, they're not allowed to keep us outside of our class times. I don't know how it works in clinical. But anyway, to tell her, no disrespect, but we do have to go. And I honestly think Brenda would have been really cool about it, but instead we all stood there awkwardly for an extra half an hour when we have mountains of homework, we have lives, we have, maybe appointments or jobs that we need to get to. And who's going to be the person to be like, oh, hey, I got to go and interrupt this poor lady talking when, your authority figure, your professor who's grading you, is standing there not making any motions to also stand up for you. I was giving them 5 more minutes, and then I was going to have to speak up and say that I had to go somewhere, just kind of out of principle, because I believe our time is very valuable. And I'm finding lately our teachers are just going off on tangents and then being like, oh, well, you don't really need to know that. And then they're like, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break in case anyone needs to pee. Love it. 2-hour lectures, can be long. But then 20 minutes later, because you get stuck in a sidebar conversation with somebody else. And then you're keeping us 5 or 10 minutes after class. And it just seems really inefficient. And you're trying to educate and inspire and teach future nurses who need to understand the importance of time management. But you're not role modeling that to us. And I'm finding that super frustrating, and I think it's just frustrating on top of also the program right now has a serious issue with a lack of communication, where we know that there's co-op programs coming up, but when I reached out in an email to figure out, like, what do I need to know? Because the only thing on the website is co-op opportunities are available. The answer I got was information comes in January and February. We coordinate with the province, and then we let students know in March, April/May, ... So great. I appreciate you responding to me and telling me that these things will be available. But I didn't get any answers. And I feel like that has kind of been my whole university experience, is that there's all these deadlines that we need to adhere to, but they don't hold up their end, it seems like, with communicating to us. And maybe that's just me being a cranky pants. But it's really, really frustrating when you're looking for information and you're trying to plan your student life, your student budget, and need to know what's going on, and they only tell you where you're going for a clinical, 4 days before. Not everybody is, a well-off university student with a car that can drive 45 minutes to 2 hours outside of town without some kind of coordination. Not everyone is living with their parents. It's almost like they assume that we have all these resources available to us and don't need to do some planning and coordination of our own. I can't imagine being a student in res and not really knowing how I'm going to get to my clinical. I'm very fortunate that Terry is so supportive and flexible that if I need to go to the Jeep to get to, one of my placements was almost an hour away, that he's like, cool, you go. Heck, you get there, girl. So I'm very fortunate that way, but I feel like this almost injustice and frustration for other people in my program. We all understand that we are, in a province where it's kind of rural, so we do have to travel for opportunities. No one's denying that. We just need the time and information to understand when and where we're going and how we're going to get there. So I feel like I'm being a cranky pants, I know, and I recognize that the healthcare system is a giant crisis, and nursing is in a crisis. We're so short-staffed. Everybody's burnt out. But what's interesting to me is that I didn't really see it affecting, I couldn't foresee it affecting faculty and university life like it does in the hospital. It's not really talked about. So I find it really interesting that healthcare in a hospital doesn't seem as efficiently run right now. But neither is the schooling. And it's just really tough, and it can be really stressful. And when you have so much going on in your life and they don't respect your time, it's really bothersome to me. So I apologize for the rant. I'm just kind of putting it out there to the universe. Is this just my experience? Is this just, you know, a crunch where I'm at with what's going on? I am in a rural area, and I still love what I'm doing. I'm still super excited to get out of a university and become a nurse and help and, you know, try and lift people up and make our system a better place. But I guess I'm really just wondering, like, am I alone in thinking this? Am I ridiculous? Am I out to lunch? So let me know in the comments what you think. And, you know, give me a thumbs up if you're in a similar situation. Maybe I just need to cool my jets. Let me know. But I am noticing like a disparity between what's expected as us as university future nurses and what is given to us by faculty, educators, and the university as a whole. So as promised though, my question, and I believe it's kind of a spicy topic because, you know, what isn't these days, but COVID. So COVID had come and crashed in on us and changed the world. Terrifying. Things now seem to be relatively relaxed. Like life is more normal than not, I would say. However, the university I'm at last year had full mask protocol. Anytime you were in a building, you needed a mask on. That's their prerogative, and I respect that. You could be outside and not have a mask on. However, now the policy and rule that we need to follow is that you only need a mask on when you're in a classroom or instructional space. So there's a girl I sit by in class. We're gonna call her Susie. Susie and I could be out in the hallway in two chairs side by side. I could be sitting in Susie's lap. We could be sharing a drink. We could be laughing out loud in each other's faces. I could be sitting with my instructor outside in the hall. I could be kissing somebody. But as soon as I step into the classroom, I have to put a mask on. And I don't mean any disrespect to the university, but it really confuses me where that logic is from. And maybe someone can fill me in on that. And maybe it's me being a cranky pants. But I'm just really curious, and it's things I'm thinking about. And it doesn't mean I hate school. It doesn't mean I regret this decision. It's just things that I'm wondering about, and I'm wondering if anyone else is feeling the same way, thinking the same way. And I think, you know, my frustration reminds me that I really do need to nan myself. I'm gonna nurse and nurture myself. I'm going home to a lovely man who is probably gonna make me some food because I'm a spoiled girl. And, you know, I just need to get through the rest of this semester. I'll work for the summer and I'll come out and I've got one more year left. So at the end of the day, it's all still worth it. I'm just really wondering, you know, where everybody else's heads are at. So let me know, are there things you do to, I don't know, advocate for yourself for better communication and or respect from faculty and professors? How do you manage those difficult situations? Because I'm trying really hard to be, you know, my 36-year-old adult professional self, but also really respectful and recognize that I'm a student and I have no position of authority here. So yeah, let me know what you think. Hit the subscription button, that bell, if you want to hear more. Give me that thumbs up if you like what you saw today. And let me know in the comments section what you're thinking, how you're feeling. Don't forget to name yourself.